So, what even is bookkeeping? Well, if you're ever in a pub quiz, then here's something for you. The word bookkeeping is the answer to what is the only English word with 3 consecutive double letters. So you're welcome for that. Enjoy your free pint. But other than that, bit of a weird word, isn't it? And especially here at Pink Pig, where we are accountants who are encouraging you to go online, to be paperless, there's not a book in sight. So why are we still calling ourselves bookkeepers? So it's time for a, don't worry, quite mini deep dive into where that word came from, what it means, and most importantly, because there is a point to this, believe it or not, most importantly, how does knowing all of that help you to better understand and run your business today? Where did the word come from? Well, if there are only 2 things that are certain in life, and one of them is taxes, then it's no surprise that the evidence of accounting has been found in many ancient civilizations, including as far back as ancient Babylon in around 2500 BC, so 4,500 years ago. In slightly more modern times, we're talking the 1400s, so not super modern, there was a really lucky man called Luca Pacioli, and he was painted whilst doing some fun accountancy type stuff. And luckily for him, he's now known as the father of accounting. Like, what a title. So Luca Pacioli wrote a book on double entry accounting or bookkeeping, which is basically all about keeping your books balanced. The premise is that in your book, you've got 2 columns, so your debtors and your creditors. So it's people who owe you money and people who you owe money to. And with a few very minor tweaks, his theory is kind of how accounting still works today, albeit that a lot of us are no longer using physical books. But what does it mean though? Well, before we had accounting software like Xero to help us do things a lot quicker, most businesses would run on a series of books. So you would most likely have your sales book, your checkbook, your purchase ledger, and all of these would tie in together to give a full picture of your accounts. And to do that, to bring those all into harmony, you would need a bookkeeper. So traditionally, this role would be to check all of these books regularly against each other and create a master accounts ledger, which is then what an accountant would use to create the final set of accounts. And why is all of this relevant to us today? Well, remember when I said earlier that Pacioli's accounting system is still pretty much the same as what we use today? Well, in reality, we're talking exactly the same. The premise is a business makes sales, deducts their expenses, and pays tax on the profit. And that is entirely the same today. And so always having a record of these sales and expenses, as well as any that are yet to be settled, is essential. So accounting software, such as what we use, which is Xero, is your double entry bookkeeping system. It's just packaged up differently to a traditional book. But our methods as bookkeepers remain exactly the same. What we need to know is all of the sales that have been made. We need to know when the payments came in for those sales and if anyone still owes you money for those. The expenses that your business has incurred, if any of those are yet to be paid. Is anyone going to come looking for money from you? And all of that ties together to help us keep track of the profits and therefore give you insight in the future of what your tax is likely to be, helping you save for it and feel prepared. Then what we can do is pass this all over in a nice neat book to an accountant who will make all kinds of additional checks, do special accountancy things to produce your final set of accounts. Now that might all sound pretty simple really, but bookkeeping has progressed a lot further than that. So with the introduction of software, we are able to provide insights and understanding like you've never seen before. It's not just knowing how many sales have I made, but we can track to the penny the profit margin on every individual product or service that you sell. We can know the cost of acquiring a customer, and we can know which lines maybe aren't making a return for you anymore. It's not just what expenses have I had, but it's ensuring that any and all legal tax saving methods are maximized. It's keeping an eye on expenses that you could cut, introducing you to different ways of doing things to save where you can. And it's helping you actually to create a reasonable budget in line with your business goals. The goal for every single business isn't to save every penny. Depending on what you're aiming for, there will be different things that you're going to be wanting to spend on. So although in a lot of ways software has made our lives as bookkeepers easier, there is a lot less mental maths going on, for example, but it's also created the first big shift in centuries, remember 1400s, in what the role of a bookkeeper is. And speaking on behalf of our team, we are loving getting stuck into the core of a business, seeing what makes it tick, and helping business owners as individuals. So business owner, what do you need to do? Well, just as in the olden days, if something wasn't in the book, the bookkeepers wouldn't know about it. If you've got your receipts in your coat pocket, in the bottom of a handbag, or they're not getting uploaded to software at all, these could be missed. We're not mind readers. Just as if in the olden days, the business owner didn't tell the bookkeeper that there was a sale that needed writing down in the book, the bookkeeper wouldn't know about it. And so there is still the need for really good regular communication from both parties. So here's what you can do. Firstly, set up accounting software, including your bank feed. And this will mean that nothing will get missed. So everything that goes in and out of the bank, your bookkeeper will be able to see and nothing will be missed. Then come up with a system that works for you that will help you regularly get your sales and expenses into that system. So whether you get into the habit of every time something happens, quickly doing it, or whether once a week you sit down, you go through everything, whatever works for you. Get to really know that software and what it can do for you. I hope it's not going to do anything to you, but what it can do for you. It's not as boring as just calculating your tax. There is so much information in there for you. And of course, get in touch with us because we can guide you through the whole thing and more. So well done for making it through this unexpected history lesson, I guess. We hope that it's provided you with a bit more understanding of exactly what it is we do and maybe opened your eyes to some of the opportunities that bookkeeping can open for you to get more information in your business. So fill in our quick questionnaire if you fancy a chat with us, or if you're already a client and want to know more about your bookkeeping and your specific processes, then contact your account manager.